I'm back. I haven't posted anything in a while. There's been nothing to post until now. I went to Vancouver recently over the weekend for my very first YCS. I went to YCS Vancouver and I played Dracotail Dragonmaid. Um, I have not been playing this deck very long. I kind of tested it a day or two before the YCS and was kind of just learning how to play it as I went along. And surprisingly, went pretty well. I made day two. This is a day two deck profile. At the end of day one, I was 17th with a 7-1 record. And then in day two, I unfortunately lost my last two rounds, so I couldn't make top 32. But it is what it is. I don't think I built my deck correctly. There are things that I wish I would have played for the event instead of what I did. But overall, I had a lot of fun and I did pretty well, so I can't be too mad at it. Just a couple of shout outs for the deck profile, I suppose. Shout out to the people in the DN server for helping me test and just playing and, giving me tips, all that. Shout out Kevin. Shout out Jaden Evans. Guy I went with got top 4-3. He made top cut. So super stoked about that. I'm gonna get into the profile. So for the Dracotail stuff, I think it's pretty standard for what all Dracotail lists are playing, minus a card. I'm on 3-5 mana. She's really important because she's your quick play poly during the main phase. And all the Dracotail stuff says set a card if it's used as fusion material. So it's very good to get interruption on your opponent's turn or follow up for your next. 3 Lucius. They are a Rhoda on normal or special summon for a Dracotail monster. And then same effect. For the dragons, these are all spellcasters. For the dragons, 2 Malulu. I feel like pure lists are on 3, but I like having it at 2, maybe 1 potentially, but 2 felt really good. It's also a quick play polymerization, but it has to be on the field to do the effect. And then if it's sent to the grave as fusion material, like all the Dracotail monsters, you can set a Dracotail spell or trap. But additionally, Malulu can non-target negate a monster effect on the opponent's board. I had a chain link resolve during round 1 where my opponent the chain link was like Arthalion, target monsters in grave, chain 2, Malulu to set, chain 3, whatever. And I went chain 4, Magnamut targeting Malulu to banish. And I went, cool. Magnamut banishes, summons. Chain 3 resolves, chain 2 resolves, Malulu will set a spell or trap, negate Bestial Magnamut. So they can't get a dragon during the end phase, which is really cool. Yeah, quick play, polymerization. 1 Pan. Pan is a really good monster. Mainly, or not mainly, one of the big aspects is that it's a level 5 or higher dragon monster, which will come up in a moment. Pan, if it's used as fusion material, it sets a spell trap, and then non-target pops a monster on the field, which is really good into Yummy. And then if a fusion monster I control is destroyed by card effect and it's in the graveyard, I can put Pan on the bottom of my deck to summon a non-fusion Dracotail monster from the grave. which did not come up a lot because I probably did not notice that it had that effect, but it is what it is. One Urgula. Urgula is the same. It's similar to Pan, except it's just spell or trap destruction. And then if it's in grave, you can target a Dracotail spellcaster, put Urgula on the bottom of the deck, or from grave on the bottom of the deck, and then put the target from grave into your hand. So it's really good to get back 5 mana if you've already used it. That is it for the Dracotail monsters. For the spells, 3 Ketu. This card is insane. It's a Rhoda, and then if your opponent controls a monster, you can also fusion summon when this card resolves. 3 Rahu is essentially branded fusion, but a little bit watered down. You use a Dracotail from deck? Using monsters from your hand, deck, field, or hand, deck, or field as fusion material. You are locked once this effect resolves, so you have to be careful of that. 1 Flame, it's a spell negate. Target a spell on the field or your opponent controls. On the field. Negate its effects until the end of the turn, and then in the same effect, you can put a Dracotail card from your grave or banishment onto the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. And then Horn is similar, but it's just a compulsory evacuation device for attack position monsters. Put a card on the bottom, draw a card. These are really good for recursion, but it sucks because these cards can get ashed. So it's still good though. It's still good. For the main focus of the deck, the Dragonmaids, I played 3 Parlor. This card, just Foolish Burials, a Dragonmaid card on normal or special summon, and then it shares the same effect as all the other main deck level 4 or lower Dragonmaids, where at the start of battle you can put this in your hand, summon a level, this one summons a level 8 Dragonmaid from your grave, or is it 7? It doesn't matter, you're not really using the effect all that much. You're mainly using it for the Foolish Burial of Parlor. Parlor itself doesn't really do much, but putting it in your graveyard helps you contact fuse into the new Ladies Dragonmaid. 1 Chamber Dragonmaid to summon off of the Ladies once you contact fuse it. And you use this to search your copy of Changeover, which is a polymerization for a dragon monster, which is really good because it's generic. So you can fusion summon any dragon monster you want, as long as you use the right materials. This combo felt extremely good to play. Every single time I went normal summon Parlor, my opponent went, like, they just had this look on their face, like they were confused, and they were like, yeah, that's fine, because they didn't expect this engine to be so good right now. This normal summon by itself is an Omni Negate and a Banish from your opponent's field or grave. Like, just by letting this card resolve is 2 interruptions, which is insanely good, and it's just 1 card. What I did wish I played for the event, actually, was a copy of Hospitality and a copy of Krimba, because there were multiple times when I drew my opening hand and Chamber Dragonmaid was my only Dragonmaid card. So by just playing this by itself is not like a 1-card combo for like 2 interruptions. But if you played these cards as well, Chamber also becomes a 1-card interruption. The combo line is a bit different. So I wish I played this lineup for the YCS, but just having this engine here was perfectly fine. As long as you open Parlor, you're good. But Chamber by itself is not 1 card. Parlor is. So in the future, I'm going to be playing those cards. And then that is it for the Dragonmaid cards. For the non-engine, it's a lot. And spoilers, it's going to be a lot of monsters. So 3 Nibiru, 3 Fua, and 2 Perulia, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Veiler, 2 Ogre, and 1 Magnemite. So the hand traps felt really good this weekend. Obviously, Vanquish Soul K9 was the worst matchup, and ironically, I only lost to 1 Vanquish Soul player in day 2, which is I give a huge thanks to that sort of success against the deck to Ghost Ogre, because this card is just really good into the K9 stuff. It really just stops your opponents playing on your turn. Veiler felt really good. I'm learning combos after the YCS that you can use Veiler and like a dragon to make Secretarion dragon, so you can continue doing combos and stuff. And Veiler, I feel like, is just really good in this deck. Ash is Ash, and Nib is just really good against Yummy. And sometimes K9 if they play weird, not optimally. Fua felt fine. Perulia is... I'm not really sure what to feel about Perulia. I feel like I would side Perulia's going into the future, just because the worst matchup that we have is against Vanquish Soul K9. And opening this stuff, like all of these cards, game 1, if you're going first, this doesn't really feel that great. But, you know, you could activate them during your turn to, like, have your opponent kind of try to play around it if they're not careful, because they don't want to give you draws on your turn. So there are applications for these cards. I just don't know. I feel like I didn't see enough Perulia to really have a good opinion on it. But, you know, Nib felt fine, Ash felt fine, Veiler felt really good, Ghost Ogre felt really good. Magnemite is just Magnemite. He's kind of just along for the ride in any dragon deck. That is the main deck. It is at 41 cards. I believe what I'm going to do in the future is cut the 2 Perulia from the main and just play the extra Dragonmaid cards for extra, you know, usability. Yeah, that's the main deck. Extra deck, Dracotail cards. 3 are Thalion. It was suggested to me that, you know, just having 3 of these would be very good, and it was. I didn't have to use all 3 like every game, but there are some points when I'm glad I had 3. And then the one Gulamel, this card is just a pop. If you activate a Dracotail card or effect and your opponent doesn't have a response, you can chain this to target a card on the field and destroy it, which is fine because it kind of forces your opponent to play around it. So it felt really good. Dragonmaid cards, 2 house. 2 house is mandatory, I feel, just because if you only played 1 and you make Shiyu, if you don't have a house in your extra deck, you can't use Shiyu's Omni Negate. So it's just good to have backups, just in case you have to make multiple of these in a game. 1 Ladies Dragonmaid. This card is absolutely absurd with how good it is. It's a Conduct Fuse by banishing a Dragonmaid and a level 4 lower Dragonmaid and a level 8 or 7 or a high level. 2 Dragonmaids with the same attribute at different levels. You banish them from field. 1 from field, 1 from grave. Summon this. Effect on summon. Special summons a Dragonmaid from deck, level 4 or lower. And then during the standby phase, you fusion summon, which is insane because, like I said, if that parlor resolves, you're ending on a Shiyu and a Regis almost guaranteed, which is a banish a card, target a card your opponent controls or is in their grave, banish it, and if you banished a card from their field, you have to return a dragon monster from your field to your hand. which isn't terrible because it puts cards in your hand, and Dracotail likes that. So this is kind of like the Dragonmaid package. It felt incredibly good, and I really liked the number of cards I played. Generic fusions for the deck: 1 Mysterion, the Dragon Crown, 1 Secretarion Dragon, and 1 Borlode Furious Dragon. These are pretty much just the more generic fusion targets that you can make in this deck. A few problems with these cards. I hardly went into this. There's not a lot of like times when I was like, oh man, I wish I had a Borlode Furious Dragon on the field. Don't get me wrong, the guard is good. It's a watered down Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, but it requires 2 dark dragons, and the only dark dragons we have is Feely Outrageous, Magnamut, Malulu, and Chamber Dragonmaid. So maybe with the addition of Krimba, maybe this will come up more, but I did not summon it very often. Mysterion the Crown Dragon, I have no idea how to use this card, so I hardly went into it at all. In theory, it should work against the Yummy matchup to make it like even harder, but none of their effects activate, the monster effects to summon. So you can't activate Mysterion, so it's like, what do you even use this for? And then Secretarion Dragon is like the only one of these generic fusions, that actually did something. It's a floodgate for the Dracotail matchup. This won me a game I played 2 Dracotail matches, mirrors, and Secretarion Dragon came out in every single one of them, and it won me the game. Like, it's just too good. It's a floodgate specifically built for the deck. But you can also use it as an extender to, if you need to, make seals, or if you just need to put Lucius back on board. It's just really good card. I would keep Furious Dragon just because it's just good. But going forward, I think I would replace the Mysterion for the Chaos Star Source Dragon, which is, it's not too generic, but it's more, I feel like I'd get more use out of this than the Mysterion. So that is that for the fusion monsters. For the rest of the extra deck is just 1 Seals and 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Being able to turn your Lucius into a dragon if you really need to is just really nice, because then you could turn your Lucius, extend into another dragon, and then make seals. So, good card. The only problem is that it locks you into dragons, so you need to be careful that you don't like make a Gulamel or special summon a spellcaster or anything, so just watch out for that. For the side deck, I'm not the best deck builder, so I just went with what I thought was going to be generically good. 3 Droll. I have no clue how the Mitsu Ryziel matchup against this deck is, so just having these floodgate the opponent is just good. It's also a spellcaster, so, you know, if you need it, you need it. Or if you need it, you can use it. Triple Lancia, because I still respect Malice. That deck is way too good to be uncontested. So just drop a floodgate on them, hope it resolves. I played 2 Malice matches. One was round 1, and then the other was round 3, which was a bounty duelist, which was really cool. Because I won that match. 2 Fenrir. No idea how to use this card in this deck. But going first, this card always worked out. Against the Vanquish Soul, if they start Mad Love and they search Field Spell, you just resolve, target Mad Love, banish it face down. It just felt really good. I didn't see this card like going second against Yummy. Even though I don't really remember if I cited it in or not, but yeah, Fenrir will just always be a good card. Like, there's no time in history when this card will be bad, I don't think. Spells, 1 Called By, 1 Talents, 1 Feather Duster, just power spells. And then 3 Warning. It was suggested to me that Warning would be better in my deck than like Judgments or Strikes would be, just because we already deal with board breakers, like spell card board breakers, with ease with Flame. So just having something that, you know, negates a monster summon, or like a ritual spell, or Stake Your Soul, it would be better. I don't disagree, but I can't really say whether or not this was good because I didn't see Solemn Warning a single game for 10 rounds. So I can't say whether or not this card was good, which is unfortunate. And then the last card in my side was a copy of Dragonmaid Tiding, just as a good going first option to side in because it is so searchable. So if you open Changeover, if you open Hospitality, actually opening just Hospitality is bad. But, you know, if you already have access to, you know, being able to fusion, Chamber, just search Tiding for an extra bounce is just generically good. But yeah, that is the deck that I played for my very first YCS. Overall, it was very fun. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I performed as well as I could, minus some games where I probably could have played better, but it is what it is. So yeah, changes I would make, of course, cut 2 Perulia for more Dragonmaid cards. It, like I said earlier, it turns Chamber into a 1-card combo instead of like just search a polymerization game 1. It just turns Chamber into a 1-card combo, and then replacing the Mysterion for a card I feel like I would actually use, because this takes like a light or dark dragon and a dragon monster, which is so easily done, and it's a pop for as many lights or darks that you use for the fusion summon. So I feel like this is just better than Mysterion if the need arises. So yeah, that is my Day 2 Dracotail Dragonmaid deck profile. One of the bigger accomplishments I think I've had in the past couple years. Round 8, I actually got the written feature match, and the typist who was typing the feature match said that I was the only Dracotail Dragonmaid player with my record, so that made me really happy. I'm really proud of how it worked out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and hopefully I will see you guys later.